Alright guys, hola, bienvenidos, welcome and welcome back. Getting used to new camera setup. We'll see how it looks, how it sounds. This will kind of be the trial video for it, and I think everything's good. So came out here an hour away on the weekend. It's a complaint for no AC. I just got up on the roof, as you can kind of tell, and I can already kind of see that it's probably going to be the same unit that we've always been called out to. So as I'm walking up, I can see condensation. That's the front one. I've actually never worked on this one. This one has had tons of electrical issues. We had to change out a compressor. There's always something going on with this one. We had duct issues too that we fixed, so we are off. And I'm also not the only one that touches this equipment. Somebody put some foam tape there. So let's get this open real quick and we'll see what's going on. This will also be a test for the audio. You guys can hear me. Well, hopefully you guys can. But we have some resettable pressure switches, I think. So we'll look at those, go from there. Inspect the electrical. We have more burnt up wires actually. So we're just going to make some electrical repairs, and I think we can get out of here. This one, it's because everything's jumped out in this one. Not pressure controls, but the contactors are jumped to each other. So there's a contactor for the compressor and a contactor for the blower, and we lost at least one of them. Forgot, I just want to verify that we have power coming up. So we have 211, 213, 209, so we do. And then these are the ones that are jumped out. So we're going to be missing that last leg. And we'll shut off power. Alright, so I'm doing just some repairs. I also saw the next one was black, so I went ahead and cut that out. Now these connectors don't look all that good either. So this one had the original one that I found had a flag connector. I don't think it was crimped good. It started welding there. And then this is the other one, does not look, looks like it was pinched with pliers or something. Might not have been the best connection, especially because they didn't pinch it all the way down. Just, you know, observing what I see. So fix that connection before that one burnt out. I'm going to reuse the wire that it had. This is a pretty good wire for this. Honestly, we're just jumping out the contactor. So it should hold fine. We're just going to make sure that our amperage and everything else after the fact is good. And a lot of this stuff just happens with loose connections. I do need to write up, I don't remember how all these contactors are, so we do need to write this up just in case. I can actually pop off the top and show. Compressor was done a while ago, but if it's been arcing, I'll recommend that. Alright, so as you can see, they have the contactors jumped out. I'll take a look at the schematic because we just kind of left it, you know, the way it was. I've never gone too much into detail on rewiring any of this because it's the way it was. So you have terminal, we have the compressor right here, and then the motor contactor coil. Oh, they're wired in together. BC, blower motor. Oh, this is, well, yeah, the outdoor and the compressor are wired together, one contactor. And yeah, they have them jumped. L1, L2, and L3 all jump off from the contactor compressor over to the blower compressor. So that's the way it's supposed to be. It's just that we keep, I don't want to say we keep, this is the second time that that's happened. We've repaired the wiring before. It might not have been that wire though, or maybe it was, I don't know. And we've burnt them up. The gauge is good. There's some that are even thinner than that on there, but it burns up. And I gotta make sure that the compressor's good, because the compressor was new and we had not had this issue anymore after replacing it, because it had eventually burnt out, and now we have this issue again. All right, so everything's back together. Now some of you guys might be like, well, that's nasty, you should, or hack job, this and that. This is what I see, guys. So I don't want to do too much. It's a weekend call. I would like to get paid, so I'm not going to do more than they'll pay. I will recommend the contactors. Right now we can probably take a look at them. I've got a screwdriver, and then all this gets written up. So I need approval. I need this one doesn't have the NTE, but they do complain if it gets too high. So transparency is my best friend here. Every time I'm honest with them and I tell them what they need, this customer actually does good on it and will tell me to come back out. So as long as they're paying, I don't mind making the extra trip, as long as I get approval and I know I'm getting paid. So it's whatever. These are good connections. Make sure when you crimp your connectors on, you give them a hard tug on the wire itself. Make sure that connector don't slip off. It's happened to me before, happens to everybody. And then once you have them on here, make sure that they don't just slide off, because then that's a really bad connection. So everything's pretty tight on there. And if they are loose on the connector, just give it a squeeze just slightly, just to get it on there, so that you close that connector, because sometimes they'll, from you wiggling them or just from them, you know, whatever, they can get loose, so they'll open up a little bit. So I think everything's good now. There's nothing popped. We had power before, so let's turn this back on. They have cooling, so all I'm going to do now is look for all my wires that are going out to the components and make sure that our amperage is not anything crazy. Nothing weird is going on, and maybe it was just a loose connection. So everything seems to be fine. The blower is 1 point something. I'm pretty sure we're good. I'll check. Right now the compressor is right under 12. I think it can go up to 20, so that's the max on it. We are well under that. I'll just make sure it doesn't jump up, and then we'll just take a look around. That looks pretty old too, so we'll see. I don't know, I don't think that's causing an issue though. I'll check the amperage off of that. But old unit, I mean, honestly, I could replace everything on this thing. It needs a new motor, contactors, probably need to rewire this. We'll see how the blower motor is, but it's old, it's running, and it runs pretty well. I'm gonna check the temp, but they got cooling now, so that's all they care about. So yeah, for the blower, we're right under 2. Compressors at 12. This is not the original compressor. They were not able to get it. What the hell? That is sweating a little too much. Let's see. I hate when I forget my stuff. I have to go run down to the van to get this, but let me see if I can get a quick reading to see if our blower, it sounds like it's running, but that compressor got really cold. All right, so jigsaw panels, gotta love that. I can't take that off right now, but so This is our micro channel evaporator, in case you guys have not seen that. I've seen these on Train and apparently Rude. I think this was a Rude, right? Anyway, just wanted to make sure that there was nothing stupid like a filter up here or something blocked off, because if the compressor's sweating, that means this is not getting any or picking up heat, basically, because, like, you know, it blows cold air down, and in doing so this will not be as cold, right? It picks up heat and then it goes back to the compressor. But if it's blocked off and this evaporator is just getting colder and colder and colder, then all that liquid, it stays liquid, and it's going to go all the way back to the compressor as a super cold liquid, because it had nowhere to go. You're just making the whole cycle, and then like nowhere to throw that cold air or pick up that heat, and your evaporator it can freeze over, and then it can cause issues with the compressor. So honestly, we probably had an issue with their well, let me put it this way, they do their own filters, right? We don't do that. So just making sure nothing's stupid. I can't even see, because some of them you can see directly down, but this one branches out and goes that way, so I won't be able to tell till I go down. And then over here we've had issues with the installation coming off, but we fixed that. Just put some silver tape, squeegee it, and it holds, because a lot of these like Rude and Lennox, I've had to do that. Even on brand new ones, the insulation just pops off, so, and it gets sucked up in the blower. So let me put all the 100 screws back, because I was trying to take off the other side, but I'm gonna put all the screws back. This is where you can check, like, if you have psychrometers, like I have the field piece, I have one, the field piece ones, you can put them and check your static pressure and all that. But like I said, they take care of their own filters, and I have to constantly remind them about that. You mother... Dead battery. After it had enough battery to take them all out, but not put them back in. Fuck, dude. Old school. I'm not going back for the drawer right now.
Start it up.
Alright, so we are gauged up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's pretty on par, and I'll just go inside and see how everything else is doing inside. So I'm going to take off everything, pack up, and go. Our issue is probably not up here. Alright, so everything within specs, no cause for concern right now. It's not doing it right now, but I thought I heard buzzing, so we will recommend those contactors. I forgot to check them, but I'm not even going to bother. Like, I don't want to open it up again, and I'm pretty sure they need to be changed out. Contactors are one of those things. If you guys are doing maintenance or doing a quick check on anything, obviously replace them if you're doing anything major repairs, but like, honestly, even a new one won't last that long from arcing. It'll get pitted. They get bad pretty easily. That's a quick little maintenance thing, or you can bring it up to them as, like, you know, hey, you need this. It's a good little sell. I don't want to say it's not taking advantage of the customer or anything. Like, it's just preventing future problems like we had right now. So we probably need contactors, but we have voltage, we have everything we need for it to run. It's a weekend. I will just recommend it. Come back out, like I said, and do those repairs. I don't even think I have 2 on me right now, so we'll take care of that during the week. And we didn't do that, so somebody disconnected the line Next time we're here, because last time I was here I didn't have any PVC because I did see this and I didn't like it, but you know, they're not complaining, they're not going to call it in. So when we do maintenance, because we're doing maintenance for them now, I'm going to make sure that that line is cleared out, because the last thing I want to do is connect it and then it backs up, throws water in the building. So right now this is the safest option for them, because I'm sure as hell not going to be liable for an overflow in the building. So next time I'm here, when we're actually doing maintenance, taking it apart and cleaning the coils, we'll just run water through there, make sure it's cleared out, and then now I have PVC. I just restocked because I redo a lot of the drains, because, well, I'll show you behind me real quick, but we'll just reconnect it, make a 90, and go back into where it originally goes. This one I've worked on it before, so I already have that one. I made sure that one's connected and cleared. And this is not my customer, but this is the type of crap we see. So that one's disconnected, but I don't know if it's even pitched right, because if you connect it, there's a slope. I don't know if that'll make the slope to drain out, you know. So this building was vacant actually. Somebody just rented it out now, but you can see, I think this one's connected. So yeah, like there should be a support or something, but it has a makeshift trap, and then it goes out, but then it slopes down and then goes up, and then it goes into the drain. That's not going to drain. So yeah, they have one there, one disconnected. Not my customer, it's a next building over. So yeah, let's go see about those filters. I get calls a lot just for the filters, so let's see. All right, so I'm just printing out their invoice for them, and I didn't want to record when I went inside, but I probably should have. When I got the filters, I didn't take them all out. They didn't have any new ones. They usually have some, and I always offer to put them in for them since I'm up on the ladder already. But yeah, I asked them, or they weren't pitch black, like I've seen way worse, but they were already like really brown, and they were already getting sucked up into the vent. So there was some sort of what do you call it, restriction there if it's getting sucked up like that. So asked her about the filters, and then she's like, no, sorry, we don't have any at the moment. And she's like, but we buy them every week. We buy them every week, and it's because we're constantly changing them every Thursday or Friday. And I was holding the filter in my hand, and I accidentally let out, oh really? And I was like, shit, okay. So then I just, you know, I left out one of the filters, the one right by the equipment, just to give it a little more breathing room. And apparently, you know, they'll get the filters in a week. Supposedly it's Saturday. Supposedly they just changed them, right? If it's every Thursday or Friday. Those things were dirty as hell. So it's whatever. I can only recommend that kind of stuff, because if they're like, if I offer to put a filter in, or if I charge them to change all the filters, or I quote a filter change out, they're gonna be like, why? We do our own filters. They should be whoever's in charge will probably be like, they're supposed to be doing them. What's going on? Like, they're gonna start questioning all this stuff, and that's not in you know, that's not on us, that's on them. So all I can do is recommend it. So in my notes right now, I'm recommending the contactors for me to come back out. I got to make sure that I have both of them. I think I only have one right now. So those were 3-pole 24-volt contactors. I don't think I have 2 of those. So recommend the contactors to come back out. I might redo some of the wiring as well, and then we'll what do you call it, recommend the filters. So I'm going to put at the end of my notes, filters were dirty, need to change out immediately, and that'll be on them. And yeah, like I said, I didn't want to record, I didn't want to bust out my phone in there or the GoPro, but I was like, man, I should have got her on camera saying that, because it was just funny as hell, because then like I couldn't help but say like, oh really, like you just changed them. We're Saturday. That's Thursday or Friday. I don't think they got that dirty, but looks like they haven't been changed. I didn't check. I don't think they date them. If I change them, I usually date them and put my initials on there so I know that it was me. But yeah, that was it. Electrical issue, more than likely due to some of the filters. I didn't see anything wrong with the blower motor. It was blowing with the filter on, it was blowing quite a bit of air. When I took it off, it blew a lot more. So to me, that compressor is, the charge looked okay, but the compressor could be flooding. Now, I didn't see any indication of it being overcharged, or I guess the only other thing we can look out for is a TXV, but it's Saturday. I told them we could do either a follow-up when I do the contactors, or what are we? We're July, unless I want to wait a month and kind of risk it. And I think we're scheduled for maintenance next month. So unless, you know, either they have me come out to do the contactors and I'll take care of everything then, or when we do the maintenance, I'll do like a follow-up with it and see if it's still having this issue. But it didn't seem crazy. It just seemed like it was getting really cold. Didn't see a restriction, didn't look like it was flooding. Could be wrong. Obviously we're getting liquid back, but it didn't look like it was like overcharged or completely open or anything like that. So we'll see. I'll see when they call us back, and I'm gonna give them their copy and get out of here. I got like an hour drive back. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was just like a trial run. We'll see if I post it with new camera, new setup. Hopefully everything sounds good. I think I have everything set right. Still getting used to it, so bear with me, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys.